Michael Venom Page may be on the verge of signing a UFC contract, and he says that he wants a top 5 opponent, top 10 max. He feels like he doesn't need to prove himself all over again. Shavkat Rakhmonov says, how about number 6? Basically raising his hand and saying, why don't you fight me over here? Now, first and foremost, I am not a Michael Venom Page MVP guy. I'm not one of those supporters. I've always said he is supremely overrated. Everybody, maybe not everybody, most people who he's been in that Bellator cage with were put in there to be a highlight reel victim. They were lambs being led to slaughter. MVP has only a handful of true competitive fights. Douglas Lima comes to mind, where he was knocked out in the first fight. In the second fight, he goes on and he wins a split decision, whatever you want to make of that. Split decisions can go either way, so it is what it is. But my personal grievance with MVP is that for the longest time he's been hailed as a prospect, and now he's about, I want to say he's anywhere from 34 to 36 years old. You're not a prospect no more at 34, 36 years old. You've been around for a while. You've just never been given tough matchups. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. He's always benefited from favorable matchmaking. For whatever reason, Bellator never truly wanted to test him, and it is what it is. So, with that said, I don't want to see the UFC do the same thing, and I don't think the UFC will do the same thing. I think the UFC needs to build one of their guys off of a Bellator quote-unquote superstar, if you want to say that, right? Because he has been one of the big names for Bellator. They always try to put him on the big cards and things like that. So for Bellator, he's a big name. People in the MMA community know him. MVP is a name, whether you like it or not. So with that said, build one of your guys off of him. Build off someone like a Shavkat Rakhmonov off of him and just throw him to the wolves, sink or swim. And if he swims and he gets the job done over Shavkat Rakhmonov, I'll be the first person to raise my hand and say, hey, I was wrong about MVP. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he gets smoked against Shavkat Rakhmonov, and I think he gets smoked against probably 9 out of the 10 guys. The only guy I could really see him beating is maybe someone like a Sean Brady. Outside of that, though, I think he beats... I think he loses, rather, to most people in the UFC top 10. If not all of them, you know what I mean? I mean, that's a Sean could win that fight too, you know, no digs at Sean Brady. But that's basically my take on this. I want to see the UFC use MVP, throw him to the deep end immediately, and try to springboard one of their guys off of a Bellator's guy's name and steal all of that, and that be the end of it. So, with that said, I want to know who you guys want to see him fight. Who do you think MVP could beat in the top 10, top 15 of the UFC welterweight division? I don't think there's many names you could rattle off, but I want to see him in the comments if you believe he can do it. So, with that said, let me know what you think. If you agree with me, disagree with me, it doesn't matter. Please join the discussion and follow for more. Thank you.